good to go one more.
Okay, so you just revert back.
Council enforcement. Or completed full slot. You don't need to reword it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's based on you doing it on your own standalone computers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John,
Yeah.
I overheard you say something about the revert part of the module.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that
So don't.
because it's just if you're done, just complete and close.
Okay.
Yeah, couldn't really find some of those stuff. Can we get to it also?
What do you mean?
Now when it says, on the revert thing,
Oh.
you need to get to those.
Just getting
Yeah, so what do you use when you write things? It says completely involved. After you've done that, save.
here.
Yeah.
Save.
Completely involved. I mean, if it's completed.
It is.
Yeah. So when you install it next time, I'll install it again.
So are we gonna be doing like 4 labs a day, sort of?
Yep. Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. 1 of 40, that's not
Nope. These are not. We're gonna change it to the desk somehow. Oh, yeah. Hello. North America. Yeah. No, it's not any fortune. I thought something was kind of messed up with is that where you're trying to do the remote install? Yeah. I had to restart DC1 for some reason.
What happened?
It was almost like there was some kind of firewall blocking, or I lost network connectivity partway through the PowerShell module,
Oh yeah?
and I had to restart DC1 in order to get it to come back. This happened to Simon too. What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can put a bullet candy out. Why? Resistance is future. It's like lingering. I gotta like wash it out. It's gonna be a hard 9 days. It's a fail.
I made a decision, an executive decision, and I didn't look at my calendar.
healthy choices at dinner. The steakhouse.
Yeah, right. The only thing, my only hope is to actually do some exercise.
Let's see here. I started out with a matrix burger with bacon, and then I had a big plate of chips.
Where you guys staying at?
And the matrix, yeah.
Yeah, there's some good restaurants around there.
Do they? Yeah, I was just wondering about that.
You guys like East Indian food?
I don't mind it. I don't seek it out.
Oh, cause there's that you go like 2 blocks north of there, it's owned by our competitor, but.
Oh, really?
Acronex.
Oh, really?
Okay.
What's it called now? Anyways, I'll find it for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the one actually that's called the Wildflower inside Matrix.
Oh, is it? Yeah, we went to the lounge last night because it was quite late when we got in. That was okay. Their burger
And then
was
if
pretty
you
good.
go 106th Street and 99th, they really get Thai restaurants here.
Oh, I like.
Oh,
where?
I think it's on 99th Street and 99th Ave and 106.
99 so we're on 100
Yeah.
Ave or 100th Street?
100th Ave.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
okay.
Reboot Fifth Street.
Yeah. It just
Thai food.
right in the middle
Good.
of this. Like it just, I got this,
Yeah.
and then I went to install it, and it stuck at like 5 or 10%, and then it basically said it wasn't available anymore.
We went up to the lounge and I had a
For
buffalo
who's
sandwich.
it again?
Caesar's. There's a lounge.
Is that the Mongolian grill any good?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is that?
That's just on 109. The pint's pretty good if you want.
Oh yeah.
Potato chips. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I like the remote install feature.
Yeah.
Remote install stuff.
Yeah.
And the server room, that's pretty cool.
That would be.
The Wi-Fi is really good.
It's just, I'll just trust it. I've already run it.
Yeah.
It's like really, quite tempting.
Oh, okay. That's what I want.
It's not. Wings.
Feature.
We definitely need that.
Oh, something like that. With the script drop down pause there. Over to the right a bit. To the other right. Down. You want to type it in there.
Oh, okay.
Because I started doing that, and then I hit enter, and it's like, it's just started doing it.
Oh, okay.
So basically, this is like Notepad for PowerShell.
Perfect.
Well, it's called Kazanas for East Indian. Just up on 107 and then 102. But we had a whole bunch of places. I got Boston Pizza.
Boston Pizza's nasty.
But you're right in the middle of the course. That's got everything.
Good. I don't mind venturing out a bit.
Well, if you really want to meet hangover, go to
Tampa?
yeah,
That sounds
Tampa is
good.
on 109th and 100th.
Yeah.
Were you guys at the Matrix?
Yeah.
There's all kinds, like, there's a couple pubs on 104th Street that have really wicked burgers. There's Cactus Club here, and
Yeah.
Joey, and there's a really awesome Japanese place just 4 blocks up too. That's really good.
What's the name of that?
Japanese.
Japanese.
Japanese bistro.
That's kind of like a Canadian Japanese place.
Wicked.
Japan.
I've never
Okay.
actually been there. Gotta check that out.
Oh, it's really
So,
good.
who's from out of town? Everybody except you guys back there, right?
Yeah.
So you're not staying in the Matrix,
No.
but everybody else has been at the Matrix?
Yeah, Kelly's Pub on 104th got really good burgers. There's a bunch of restaurants on 104th.
9 days is gonna be long.
9 days.
You say that now, it's too long.
You're already thinking it's too long?
Well, no, I mean, just.
We've
to-
only
no,
got
no,
one
no,
through
no,
one
I mean-
module.
I mean,
You're
You made
gonna
it
be
till
like a
9.
deer in the headlight by
Oh, no.
9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
No, I'll be good, but it's just.
3
eating
o'clock
out
this
all the time.
afternoon.
Oh yeah.
I don't eat out that much.
No, I know. That's one of the biggest problems with travel. I completely agree with you. At one point, I was probably on the road 2 weeks out of every 4, and you get used to it, but it's not an easy thing to do. Like I could pack my suitcase for a week, literally in 15 minutes. But I found that I haven't really had to travel now outside of Ottawa for close to 2/3 of a year. And I found yesterday when I went to the airport and I'm standing in line and they've got you doing your ticketing, they've got you doing, putting all of the paperwork on your bags. And it's still completely inefficient. There's a lineup of 10 people and there's one person standing there servicing Air Canada. And so you go from that lineup, you go to another lineup. And by the time I got on the plane, there's like, oh yeah, well the thunderstorms rolled in, there's lightning in the area, so we can't leave. Probably be another 10-15 minutes before we can get out of the ground. Then we finally they say, okay, lightning's passed. We taxi out, and they go, oh, we're gonna let a couple of planes land before we take off. So by the time we finally took off, it was like an hour and a half after when the plane was supposed to leave. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know where all the appeal is of traveling so much. I suppose if I was going for a holiday, I'd be a lot more willing to kind of put up with it. But I find that when I travel for business, the inefficiencies of just the travel system, you kind of go, where's the joy in this?
Yeah.
And then sleeping in a hotel room a lot is, if you like I'm not a good sleeper, so I find if I'm in a hotel room, the first couple of nights are brutal because by the time you adjust to a mattress and everything else, it's like, so the next day you're like,
Oh, you're coming through from the wrong assumption that it's supposed to be fun.
no, I never said it was supposed to be fun, but it would appeal to me if it was a little more efficient.
Why the best is when you travel in the wintertime and then you get on the plane, we forgot to realize we need to de-ice the plane.
Yeah.
Then you got like a 45-minute wait for that.
Yeah, so you gotta wheel back to the terminal and sit there while they bring the truck over, and yeah, it's crazy. It's just not a very efficient system.
We live on the island, so the ferry from the island to Vancouver
Yep.
takes the same amount of time to get to Vancouver as it does to fly to Edmonton.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, I know. I spent a lot of time on BC ferries as a kid. I'll tell you.
yeah.
It's interesting, the guy, I did a contract for Royal Canadian Mint, and they were putting in a JIT system. So they were introducing the whole Kanban system onto the factory floor, which was really interesting when you actually, when you consider that they're making coins, right? But the whole just in time of bringing in the raw materials so they could actually manufacture the coins and that entire process was a huge, huge undertaking. And so for the consultants who were coming in, one of the first things they did is when you were hired and you signed your non-disclosure agreement, is they handed you this book. It was written by supposedly the guru of just-in-time, manufacturing. And the example that he uses of the most inefficient industry in terms of, process flow is the airlines. He goes, yeah, it's just, you're just going from one lineup to another. That's all you're doing. So, oh well, what are you gonna do, right?
I have to agree with that.
Well, it's, you know, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I said, if I was going, you know, if I was going somewhere really sunny and warm, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Put up with it.
I'd be like, oh yeah, let's go to the bar and have another beer.
Yeah.
Because eventually, I'm gonna get somewhere and I'm gonna be happy.
Well, that helps with the sleeping too.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that, isn't there?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at Active Directory. So, just to answer your question, Carl, we got 4 modules today. The next 3 are a little bit shorter in terms of recovering. So we do a module, a lab, then we go module, and then we turn you loose lab at the end. So you kind of around 5 o'clock you flush out the end of your day with labs.
Okay.
Now that's kind of the format that they use. It's really hard in a course of this structure to stay focused on the quantity of material towards the end of the day. And that is, I mean, everybody recognizes that. By the time 2:30 normally rolls around on a technical day, you can see people kind of zoning. So, you know, that's what they try and do, is they try and, you know, use the labs as a way of interspersing the hands-on component with the learning component. But towards the end of the day, they know, you know, having you know, a course in the lab and a course in the lab doesn't work well. So that's why they kind of flash it out at the end of the day with labs. And effectively, when you get to that lab mode, you know, as Sologard has figured out, you know, you can use your laptop, right? Which means that you can access these labs from pretty much anywhere, right? So if you decide at the end of the day that, you know, you'd rather take an hour or a couple hours and decompress and then go back and do the labs later on that evening when you're back in your hotel room on your laptops, that's perfectly acceptable too, right? So, however you want to do it. I like to refer to this as adult education. I wasn't being facetious. All right. Simon and Nick are both laughing. Everyone else is like, what? Active Directory. So we'll take a look at Active Directory domain services, go in and take a look at the domain controllers, and take a look specifically at installing it. As I said, DC Promo, which was one of your traditional methodologies of installing Active Directory, calling it from the run command, and then being able to effectively launch the DC Promo with ADV, has been deprecated in 2012. There's a couple other things that are kind of interesting about 2012 as well. For instance, if you install a domain and you install a clean install as compared to an upgrade, like a clean install of 2012 that you were adding to an existing Active Directory environment, the install of Active Directory as a domain controller will automatically, and as 2012's domain controller, will automatically upgrade your schema. So a lot of those things that you would have had to have done in the past, the forest prep, AD prep forest prep, AD prep domain prep, those all happen. If you're doing an upgrade, well, you still have to run it. Right? But if you do a clean install, the actual install process will run those utilities for you. So that removes the need for you to actually have to prepare the environment for the 2012 implementation. So, quick overview of what we're going to talk about here. We'll just kind of go through some very quick information with regard to, you know, what are domains, what are OUs, what's a forest, what's a schema, what's new in 2012 Active Directory, and what's new in 2012 R2 Active Directory specifically. But in terms of, you know, the Active Directory environment, they effectively break this down into what they would refer to as physical versus logical components. Your physical components, obviously, are your domain controllers, because that's a physical computer. Although it might be a virtual machine running on a physical computer, it's still considered to be a physical component that makes up the box that is being essentially given the role of a domain